Are you a futures trader constantly battling reversals, getting stopped out, or feeling lost in choppy markets? What if there was a strategy that removed the guesswork, letting you trade with consistency and confidence? Today, we're diving deep into a proven, rules-based approach from one of the sharpest minds in the game, T-Trade.
All right, bringing him in. Hey, how are you doing?
Good, not too bad.
You know, it's funny. Over the years, I've always thought about like different indicators or things that I could use to help me become a better executor of my strategy. And one of the things I've always thought about is like what you created. And I never even thought about creating it. I want you to explain to everybody real quick, maybe somebody that's new to you, what they're seeing, how they could see your chart on the left and then the chart on the right. And I know that Kane uses it as well.
Yeah, it's just an indicator. So I made an indicator for my strategy. And essentially what it does is it just uses a higher time frame. So we can just walk through, maybe we'll go to gold for yesterday and we'll throw it up there. So really all it does is it references the higher time frame. So I'm here on the hourly, it will reference the daily time frame here. So if we go to the daily, now it will use the monthly. But if we're looking at these previous 4 candles, I'm just looking for reversals because I don't trade reversals because I find that's where I just take a lot of stops. So I let a reversal form and then I trade a continuation. So my indicator will essentially look for a sweep of previous day high or previous day low, a close back in. And then when I go down to the lower time frame, in this case, the hourly, it will look for that confirmation. And so just what I was talking about on ES forming this reversal here, I'm looking for that same pattern here. So if we're looking on gold, I'm finding this high. Once we close through this series of candles there, that is my confirmation that I'm anticipating this to become a swing point because it's just on the idea that price isn't going to reverse without a swing point, right? So if you look, price is trending higher here. For it to reverse and go lower, it has to form swing points. So I'm just looking for a daily swing point, and then all it does is mark out my confirmation. It puts some projections for targets, marks out previous day's lows, and then it gives me an area. So when these boxes come up, it essentially says, hey, into this next day, I'm looking for a continuation short in this area. Like for today in gold, I'm looking for a continuation short in this area. So it's really just putting my brain onto my screen. Just makes it easier. I don't really have to chart as much. So you'll see me use that a fair bit.
When I started watching your YouTube videos, what I loved the most about it was, number one, the clarity of your whole strategy, how the indicators actually are lined up to where it's like you didn't have to think a lot. Like that's the one thing that a lot of people will make the mistake. There's just too much discretion. We all think we're smarter than we are, T. And when we see things on a chart, unless they're right in front of us that we know that we plan for in our preparation, we're going to venture off that and get into other things. So I just want to give you kudos for doing that. I think it's really great the way you set this up. I want to go back to S&P though. I want to start there today. Let's start with ES. Let's diagnose it a little bit.
Yeah, so yesterday, obviously, the S&P was a lot weaker than NASDAQ, right? So we're taking a look at that. However, it's a bit stronger today. So it kind of flipped after taking out this previous day low and this reversal. And so that's the main thing I wanted to talk about here today is once I came in here, I was obviously looking for a continuation lower. And you guys now see why that is, right? We have a sweep of this high, closes back in. This is the area that I'm looking to short from, essentially, right? But just because the indicator plots something doesn't mean that I'm just going to go in there and blindly short something. I have to have some sort of validation of that idea. And when I come in and see this V-shaped reversal here, which is essentially price hangs around, sweeps it all out. So you can trap early shorts, any breakout buyers, or running out early longs. And then you get that V-shape back in. This is just bullish to me.
So what do we see? Because the gray box still is an indication that we could start to rotate lower. What gets you bearish again?
Yeah. So essentially what I want to see is a swing formation on the lower time frame in here. So the same thing we look for on the daily here, I would need that to occur in here on the hourly, right?
All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ.
Yeah, so similar thing here. Obviously, it's propped higher into the range, right? ES took out this low here. That shows you just a crack in correlation between the markets. So if we pull these up side by side here, I'll show you what I mean here. We'll throw ES on this side, right? You can see if we mark out this same low, the Monday low, NASDAQ has not taken it out. S&P has taken it out. So that's that weakness yesterday. Now they're back into some sort of alignment, right? So It's just if I am looking for a long setup, I'm generally going to favor NASDAQ over S&P here, right, on the higher time frames, just because it's closer relatively to these highs. Because if I'm going to be trading a long out of this, I'm anticipating that this swing point's going to fail. And so then that's where I expect price to go to.
So when you're looking to get long, you're trading the stronger one out of the two indexes. You're not trying to buy the weaker one looking for it to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. So there are specific cases where you can buy the weaker one to let it catch up. But it's just a lot of times easier to just ride the one that's already stronger because it's a bit harder to time this switch.
Bingo. You know, it's so funny. I've had that conversation on here with a lot of people so far on NinjaTrader Live. It's something I've been watching for many years. My mentor actually was the one who taught me about this many years ago. He used to yell at me like, why the hell are you trying to chase the one that's weaker? Why don't you just buy the stronger one? I remember, it was like, tough love. And I was always like, well, shouldn't the S&P catch up to the NASDAQ or vice versa? And the reality is the one that's stronger is already showing you something. And the tendency for short-term day traders is to buy the weaker one or to sell the stronger one because they're looking for the quick buck, not for the trade that's already underway, because it's the FOMO that trade's already happened. And so you're trying to catch the opposite side of it, whether you're trying to catch the weaker one to rally or you're trying to sell the one that's stronger, when in reality, the better trade is to buy the one that's stronger or short the one that's weaker. Let's take a dip into gold here a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously I came on here looking to favor gold to this previous day's low, right? And the whole reason for that is I talked about my model, but I really just think of each day as a new range. So I ask myself, if this is the range high, this is the range low, so that previous day's range, is price more likely to trade all the way to this high or to this low? And I just look at the distance of it. It just makes more sense that I could trade to this low instead of trading to the high. So if price isn't going to have an inside bar, it's more favorable to look to trade it short. And it also aligns with my model. Now with this, it's just then looking at the intraday price action, right? So if we pull up my model here, it will form in here. But essentially, I'm viewing this as a reversal, right? So every time I'm looking at price action, I'm using the same thing. I'm just looking for a sweep of a previous high and then a closure through the series of candles that did that. Once that occurs, I anticipate that this high should remain. So I'm anticipating with this move, I gotta move my Zoom thing out of here, see what time that is. I'm expecting that this 5 a.m. high should remain if we're gonna continue lower.
One thing I want to say, I think for everybody to take away from this is that you like the moves that are underway. You like the path of least resistance. I think that's important to understand. Like a lot of people, a lot of their strategies are like either trying to pinpoint straight reversal areas, and some people are great at it, but I'm very similar to you. I like moves that are already underway. I don't like trying to get in as a move. I'm trying to fade a move initially. I like the move that I want to fade to start to show what's working and then get in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the reason I learned that is when I first started trading and trading options, you always get that lesson of you start to average down in a position and your loser just gets so big so fast because you're fighting the trend. And so eventually you just reach a point where, well, what happens if I just flip that? And instead of trying to catch every reversal, I just trade the trend and just keep it very simple. And so I just stopped trying to trade reversals almost completely. And I just align myself with that trend because it's just so much easier than trying to fight the way that price is actually going. Lately, I've noticed price is just kind of grinding around. And so it's just been more difficult. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's so important for traders not only to understand themselves, their style, and to know their strategy really well, is to know what market environments are conducive to their strategy. I don't think people talk about that enough because, like for me, I've said a million times, everything works sometimes, nothing works all the time. I know when my strategies are in good places. I like mean reversion. Like right now, I'm short S&P. It's not working so great for me as we fairly today, but nonetheless, I understand like the moment when I can do it, and I understand the moments when things are working really well. Like beginning of this year was great. Since like April, it's been tough, really tough. I barely doing anything. And I'm more of a swing trader. I'm not trading intraday every single day, but it's like if you can embrace the fact that when the market environment's conducive to your strategy and when it's not, that to me is such a game changer because that's when you make all your money. You make money in moments. And that's just the reality of this business. It's never going to be good all the time. I mean, it's just, I've never seen any of my trader friends just make money on the linear line straight away up. It's always like this. And so the reality is just to reduce the ebbs and flows of it. So understanding that is key. All right, everybody, that does it for our segment with T Trades this morning. He's my guy. You're the best, T. I will see you soon.
This presentation is for educational purposes only. All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader, LLC. Trading futures involves substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.